Hello and welcome to our kitchen again. Today I'm going to make this pear fritter cake. This is what it is supposed to look like. I made it on the weekend and it didn't look like that, but it was absolutely delicious. So what we have here is 2/3 of a cup of sugar, 2/3 of a cup of brown sugar divided, which I've mixed with 1.5 teaspoons. I've mixed 1/3 of a cup of light brown sugar with 1.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, a half a cup of sour cream, a quarter cup of water, room temperature water is here, 2 large eggs, 1.5 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste, 2.5 cups of flour, which I didn't do yet, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, a teaspoon of salt, a quarter teaspoon of baking soda, I have to get that out, a cup of pears chopped up, and 2.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, which I've already done. Okay, so let me get the, what did I forget? The baking soda and the granulated sugar. So let's see, how much of the baking soda? Just 1/4 teaspoon. Here we go. A 1/4 teaspoon, right there. And I needed 2/3 of cup. I had the granulated sugar. Okay, so first thing that we're going to do is we're going to whisk together granulated sugar, a half a cup of brown sugar, and the oil, the sour cream, and the water, the egg, and the vanilla bean paste. So I have to get together granulated sugar, 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. Brown sugar? Let's see here, yep, 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. So we'll get that out. Okay, so here we go. So we start out with the granulated sugar, half a cup, 1/3 of a cup of the brown sugar, the sour cream, the oil, there it goes, the water, and the eggs. And we have to mix that all together, which is what I'm doing here, just by hand, not a mixer. Makes a nice light brown liquid. Okay, so now I need another. Where did I put the? Oh, here they are. Okay, so here I'm going to put. Let's see. This side. 2.5 cups of flour. So here we go with the flour. And so when you're measuring flour, you pour it into the cup, and then you level it out. So there's 1. 2. Now I need to clean this one out, this the oil out of this 1/2 cup thing, so I can use this for the 1/2 cup. Okay, that's 2.5 cups of flour. And we're going to add to that the baking powder. Here's the baking powder. And the baking soda. And the salt. And nutmeg. How much nutmeg did I need? Nutmeg. Oh yeah, the 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg. Thought I measured that someplace. Okay, so we'll put a 1/4 teaspoon of the nutmeg in here. And we'll mix that all together. I forgot to put in the vanilla bean paste in here. Okay, so we'll whisk all this together. We'll mix it together. Okay, and then we will gradually okay, so we'll actually we have to do something with the pears. Then take half 3/4 cup of pears with a teaspoon of flour and okay. I don't know why they would just want 3/4. And 1.5 teaspoons. So Flour. Okay, we have to toss that around. Okay. Okay, so we will, let's see. Okay, so we're going to fold the flour into this wet mixture. Make it into a nice little batter. So what happens is when I prepared a loaf pan, and we'll put half the batter in, and then we'll put in half of the sugar and cinnamon, and then the other half. And of course, before we do that, we'll put the pears in. But I had a little trouble last time evening out the batter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the scale and divide, before I put the pears in, I'll divide this this batter in half. Okay, so looks like I have a little more in this one. Okay, I'll get the scale. And we'll even make sure that it's even. Okay, so we'll put this one on. Okay. It's 25.7. This is 24.8. I'll take a little more. 25.5, probably a little bit too much. 25.1. I think that's close enough. So what we'll do is we'll put half of the pears in one, and half of the pears in the other. We'll mix that up. You can see how it looks. I don't know if you can see that. Bring it over closer. Pears, you know, evenly distributed in the, in the batter. That's when we need a little bit more mixing. Okay, so we have our prepared pan. Here it is. Baking spray, and then parchment paper to help take it out when it's ready. So we'll put half the batter in the pan. And we want to level that out. That's good. And we'll take half, let's draw my hands. Take half of this cinnamon sugar mixture, it's in here, and we'll spread it along the top. And then we'll take the rest of the batter and put it on the top. I'm going to spread this around on the top. And then what we'll do is the rest of this cinnamon sugar mixture, we'll spread it on the top. And then we'll swirl it in. Now this will bake in the oven for about an hour and 20 minutes. So it'll be a while. So there it is, all of the cinnamon and sugar mixed in, and we're ready to put it in the oven for about, the recipe says an hour 10 to hour and 20, or until it comes out, the cake tester comes out clean, which it was more like an hour and a half last time I did it, but here we go, into the oven. And we'll set the timer for an hour and 5 minutes, so we can keep an eye on it. And after it cools, then we will ice it. So anyway, we'll come back to you as soon as we have that. Okay, so the cake has cooled enough, and we made this icing, 1.5 cups of powdered sugar and about 2 or 3 tablespoons of water. So here we go, the finishing touches. And I lined the plate with wax paper so that Anything that drips will not get on the plate. And that'll be good. Okay, so there it is. Can you see? Nicely decorated with the icing. I can tell you this cake is absolutely delicious. Again, thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing. And if you have any questions, just send me an email, chris.chernick@gmail.com. And there we are. So happy baking, everybody. Have a good day.